Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. In the last video we did a little bit of monster hunting for Hogton, and we also got information about our next kill, the giant moth. But for the moth to appear we're going to have to do a little bit of hunting for con essence. So we are going to start our travel episode. We haven't had one in a little while, so I guess I shouldn't complain, but this is essentially just going to be an episode with a lot of walking. There are 3 essences that we can collect at the moment, and I'm going to start at the Wasteland of Silence. Alright, so once we're here, we are able to grab the essence fairly easily. This provided us with a really nice shortcut. If we remember, Chieftain told us the location of all of the essences, and the first one here in the Wasteland of Silence is the Wind Essence, and it can be found on the top of Chieftain's Hill. And once you get close to each of the locations, you will have a little bit of a marker on your minimap there. There is going to be a star which will show you the location of where to get the con. I'm just going to take care of these werewolves first. Get them out of the way. And then what you can do is go up to the essence. Make sure you have the appropriate vessel. We need the wind vessel. Walk up to it and collect it. And that's all there is to it. So this is a very easy quest. There's really nothing difficult about it because you can just run through all of the enemies to your location, assuming that you know where they are, but it's just very time consuming. Because this game doesn't have a run button or any sort of vehicle that you can use, and the only way to transport yourself around is the obvious transport fleet, it makes getting around in this game really frustrating at some points, especially for quests like these. But that's just my opinion. So with that one collected, what I'm going to do here is come out of the south gate, and I'm going to take the shortcut that connects Abazet to the Undersea Tunnel. Because the next essence is at the Tomb of Strass, this is kind of a short way of doing it instead of using the obvious transport fleet to warp all the way back to the Undersea Tunnel. Because this entrance puts you very close to where the tomb is, whereas the obvious transport fleet takes you farthest away from it. And hopefully, after this, we won't have to come to the Undersea Tunnel for a while, because I've felt like I've spent so much time in here, seeing as how we just did a quest in here not too long ago. So if we pull up the map here, the Tomb of Strass is fairly close by. We were also there not too long ago when we were needing to access the Mare's records. So a very important location to the Mare, but in hindsight, a lot of the game is spent in Navy Blue Marsh and in Cota Mare. When I was doing my grinding, I went back to Abazet Field just because I kind of missed it. Because you're kind of barred from Abazet after the northern forces, as well as the southern forces, come after you, and you can't actually get access to the city anymore, which is sort of sad because it's one of the main cities in the game, and then all of a sudden you're not allowed to go there anymore. And so I wanted to just kind of relax a little bit, and so I was walking around there for a little while, just for a little bit of a change of scenery. And once I've collected that bit of con, what I'm going to do is just walk through the Undersea Tunnel and go to the pillar on the opposite side of the map. The reason for that being is that the pillar there is a transport fleet location, and we will be able to go to Oldfox Canyon, which is our final location. Now it's completely up to you. What you can do is go back the way you came, back to Abazet Field, back through South Gate, and use that fleet as well. I don't really know what would be a shorter distance, but I feel like I might as well just walk through the tunnel. It probably won't take that much longer, and then this way I'm kind of making a straight path for myself without having to do a lot of backtracking. I should also note that these essences can be collected in whatever order you wish. You can get the water one first, the fire one second, and the lightning one, the wind one, whatever you want in whatever order. I just find this the easiest for me personally. There are a lot of monsters in here though. And we're almost there. We need to pass through the Gate of the Ancient Spirit in order to get to the pillar. And I like to save Oldfox Canyon for last because it is definitely the most tedious of all of them. So we're gonna go do that right now. So we're gonna go back to Oldfox Canyon. And now that we're here, we need to walk all the way past the Gate of Wailing, which is a little bit of a walk. But if we don't fight any of the enemies, hopefully that will aid us a little bit and I won't feel like it's such a long ways to go. Keeping in mind, of course, too, I had mentioned a few videos ago that there are two obvious fleet locations, one near Abazet and one near Cota Mare, but we're not actually able to get into the Northern Forces outpost anymore because, of course, we have been kicked out of the army. And if you get close to that location, the game will actually force you to turn back. So you really don't have any choice but to use this pillar here. So don't make that mistake because that will set you back, because you'll spend all that time getting there, you'll have to turn back, and then you'll have to find another way to get into Oldfox Canyon. So that could be a little bit frustrating because that would be the shorter route, but unfortunately that's just not available to us. And seeing as how we were just here, there's not much to really say about it. I've already kind of gone over all of the enemies in the area and whatnot, so if you haven't done a lot of grinding or you didn't take the opportunity to fight enemies when we were here last time because you were focusing on the blazes or whatever the case may be, you know, knock yourself out. Go ahead and fight them if you wish. They would have all respawned since we left Oldfox Canyon. And like I mentioned, they do give a pretty good amount of experience if you have fallen behind on your grinding or something like that. So this one is near the fire altar. And we are able to pass through here, of course. But even if we couldn't, it doesn't matter because it's actually sitting right outside of the barrier, which is beautiful. We can just pick this up, and we can be on our way. And that actually wasn't as much of a tedious walk as I remember. For some reason, I remember that being a lot longer, but maybe last time I was here I fought the enemies along the way. I'm not too sure. That still makes it the longer of the essences to get, but not too bad. For now though, that concludes all of our walking. We still do have the lightning essence to get, but we're going to be getting that when we finally go to Ruhalt Plateau. And at this point I have done everything, so that time is now. We are now able to go back to Cota Mare. We can speak to Chieftain, and we can use his device to get us to Ruhalt Plateau, finally. So we won't have to see any of these places for a while now, because once you warp to Ruhalt Plateau, you're sort of stuck there for a while. And that's kind of why I wanted to get everything done now before I left. I really don't know for sure if you're able to do these quests for Hawkton after you get back, because there will be an opportunity to warp back before the final area, but we are going to be stuck here for quite some time. So I'm usually just more safe than sorry. I like to do these quests before there's any sort of chance to miss them. So that's why I've done it now. In our quest log, all of the quests that we have right now are all for the Ruhalt Plateau. As you can see, we've got 6 of them. So we still have quite a few quests in our log, and we also have a few quests to do once we get to Ruhalt Plateau. But at this point, we're 87% finished, so we have done the majority of the quests, and we are making some pretty good headway. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to warp back to Navy Blue Marsh here. Okay, so now that we're back here, I will be speaking to Chieftain probably sometime soon, most likely in the next video. I just need to double check to make sure that I've done everything, but to my knowledge I have. We've done all of the side quests in the area. The main objective now is just to go to Ruhalt Plateau. I've purchased all of the weapons for sale in Cota Mare, and for the most part I feel like I'm pretty well prepared. My party's at a good level, and I have been keeping up with skill points and common boards and whatnot, so I feel pretty confident to go forward from here. And after I do a little bit of a last minute check, we should be ready to finally move on after we've been stuck here for so very long. Very exciting stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you next time.